Fractal fans. Welcome to a holiday 2024 edition of that AustinBuddy TonePack Show. Today, we're going to continue with what we did on the VP4 with my friend Nick James. Say hi, Nick.
Hi.
And you guys saw that in the last episode 6 where we played with the VP4. I thought it'd be a little fun just to go through some of the factory presets that I helped make for the VP4 with Nick and I just kind of playing. Let me give you a little bit of a setup. We've got my Bogner over here set on plexi, and I may change it to clean here and there, but it's not a distorted plexi sound unless you dig into it. And we've got a switcher box on the ground where I've got a Two Rock Overdrives special. So we're playing through real amps, but we're going into the VP4 first. We've got some ways for you to see this, including the editor, and we're just going to pick a couple of my presets that I helped design for it. I'm going to walk you through what the thinking was, and either I'll play some on it or Nick will play some on it. Before we jump into that, though, Nick's had his VP4 for a couple weeks now, and you're kind of digging it, right? You're already making some stuff for gigs coming up.
Oh yeah, I've got like designing sounds for specific things. Don't know if I'm supposed to give it away, but we're doing some Prince songs. And he's got some really specific tones that I don't have in my regular board. I don't have those sounds, and to be able to dive in and design that has been really fun.
It's like I get it. Like if you were going to do Purple Rain, not that he said he was.
Not that I said I was.
You'd need some sort of flanger, and you don't have a flanger on your real board, or a cool chorus. So what I thought we'd do today is I have a list of the presets, and I've got some of them that I helped contribute to. Highlighted here, and I want to talk about what they are and what the thinking was in them. So one of my favorite presets where I wanted to give you guys some different tastes of fuzzes is factory preset C4 Fuzz into Fuzz. Now it was given to you with a delay on, which I'm going to turn off so you can hear the fuzz better. And with two fuzzes together, what you can do, but that's not really how I intended it, all right? So I'm going to turn off the second fuzz in each one of these as we go through it. I want you to hear the different types of fuzzes. So this is a germanium face fuzz, and I tweaked it a little bit to do some things to it. So Nick, you can play it on either whichever pickup it feels good to you, volume all the way up, but you'll hear if you roll your volume down, it'll clean up. But let's hear how it sounds. This is your classic face fuzz germanium.
Sounds nice.
So when you dial it down, it does clean up a good bit. Go down to about 5 and see.
Yeah.
And that's important because that's what we really love about fuzzes, is how they react. It really becomes part of the circuit. And there are tricks you can do in the Big Brother units that make that even more responsive, where you can change the impedance coming in and things like that, because there's still a buffer in the front of this, and most fuzzes don't want to see that buffer. But this works really good for that. So, and I did some tricks to make this better. So that's the germanium. So I'm going to turn the germanium one off, and I'm going to turn the silicon version on. Same thing, face fuzz, but this has a silicon in it. I went into the expert edit, and I changed it to a silicon type clip instead of a germanium. That's all that's really different between these two. So, and I haven't messed with any of the EQ or anything like that. So let's hear what that sounds like. Yeah. So you've heard that had a little more of an edge to it, and the drain's a little more rounder. Still fuzzes, but
yeah, and it's like it's got a little more edge on the silicone, but it's also like a little more controlled, where the germanium is kind of unpredictable in a fun way.
Yeah, that's well said. Let's check out two different octavers now. I'm going to turn off the second one and the delay so you can hear these a little better. So these are just two different settings. One of them is more of a heavy setting, and it'll sound better on the neck. And with maybe the volume more about like 8 to start, or 8 or 9, you can dial it in once you kind of get there. But don't, with octavers on the neck, if you really want to hear that second octave, you kind of turn it down a little bit, and that octave pokes through. And then the next one we'll do will be a milder version, more of a clean octave boost than a heavy octave. So let's hear how this one sounds. I just want you to keep playing. That sounds so good. All right, so let's try more of the clean octave boost kind of a thing now. Wow. So in honor of Doyle Bramall, I'm going to go out of the Bogner and into the Two Rock, which I know he'll play sometimes. Same sound, clean octave boost. That sounds cool. Now, if you take a clean amp and you put a big muff in front of it, oh my God, all kind of horrible things happen. So get down to your bridge pickup and you can give me some punk. Through the Bogner. Cool. So again, you're seeing there's all kind of fuzz flavors available. So now this is a good face fuzz that's more of a harder fuzz. So let's see what you think about this. Think about this one, and then we'll go to the harder fuzz. You might even think about Satisfaction. I don't know if it's this one or the next one, but the riff for Satisfaction. The second one. Let's try the second one, see. All right.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, so it's got, my point is there are a lot of different textures to these fuzzes. They're kind of fun. We probably should go and do a little bit more of drives. These are some of your jams. And we can do them on the Strato. We can do them if you want on a Les Paul. But what I did in this Drives on Display factory preset C2 is I tried to give you 4 different drives dialed in. You can stack them if you want, but this is giving you a taste of what each drive would do. So the first thing on here is just a jam ray. That's all it is into the Bogner. Okay, now I can add a clon behind that. And I like that clon boost, and it's in there a lot. There's also another boost that's available to you if you want to try different ones in the last slot. This one's an RC boost as an example. So that's what a lot of people do. They layer their drives, you know. So this would be the jam ray with the RC boost. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the jam ray off, and there's a blues driver. This isn't my favorite thing. It's a jam, it's a blues overdrive, but go ahead and let's give it a shot, listen to it. Well, maybe I'll have to evaluate. That sounded pretty good. So a lot of mids, a little less bass on it. But again, if you add boost to these kinds of things, like I've got it set up for you, it's going to sound a lot bigger and better. All right, so let's go to a pedal that you love and know well, your Timmy.
Yeah.
So. All I did was add a little clon after. You hear how sweet that was when you bent that note? See, I love that. That's a great lead sound that cuts through stuff. So, and so all these things are just turning these, putting these in different things that you can check them out in different orders. There's a full tone, like a full tone overdrive in here. Some people like those pedals a lot. So here's a good example of that. And ladies and gentlemen, the lesson here is everything sounds better with a clon after it. It's true. It's true. All right, so here is an AC boost. And let's, this is a super drive after that. So again, these drives weren't at their default settings. I dialed them in. You can make them work for you and your amp, but the trick is do a drive that gives you the color that you want, and then when you want to do a lead, put like a clon boost or an RC boost after it, and you hear it pushed out a little bit, but all the notes were sustained. Just killer. There's also distortion on here, and this is the OCD compulsive distortion, so let's give that a shot. That sounded pretty good. Here's another version of the same thing, but this has the low pass switch on. So this next one, it should be on a humbucker, but we're going to make Nick play this on a Strat. Oh, the shame, the humility. Go ahead, Nick.
What?
Hey, Metallica, if you need a third guitar. Just kidding. All right. That's a cool one. I like that one. That's the M-Zone distortion. And then I've got these new, I forget what they're called, but they're new sort of drive. It says the MCM LXXI drive. It's pretty cool. All right.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. And then this is the same thing in the Two Rock amp. Very cool. So this is called the griddle cake. I'm sorry, this is shred distortion. All right.
Something.
This one, no, it's great. It's great. And then this one is the griddle cake, which is pretty popular. The drive is the same idea. I didn't set it up for them to be stacked, so I'm turning this one off even though it comes up on. Tone of Kings is just a classic. I'm going to put that in the Two Rock. This is the classic thing that people love to put on there, so go ahead and give that a shot. So you can hear it's just kind of a little boost, right? You know? The same kind of thing would be the TS-808. And then the Zen Drive would be this. That Zen Drive, don't overlook that. That's got a little cool thing that it does. So the Eternal Love pedal's in here as well. And another pedal not to overlook is the Heart pedal. It's got a nice thing in it, the way it works.
Yeah.
And the last, because we're getting close to the end here. So this is called Box of Crunch. It's supposed to sort of marshal your stuff up. Let's put that into the Bogner rather than the Two Rock and see what happens. All right, and all of these again are going to sound even better with a boost after them. I've just pulled up Chorus Collection, and the idea behind this is, if you look at it, is there's a compressor in the first slot that's off right now, and then there's two choruses, and that's what this slash is here. Boss Me means the first chorus is kind of a boss type chorus, but if you would turn that one off and turn the other one on, now you're playing the triangle, the mono triangle chorus, which is kind of like a TC Electronics chorus. So that's how you interpret that. So let's hear what the boss chorus sounds like. Now that was through the Bogner Plexi, so that was a little dirty. We'll go into the Two Rock and we'll play the mono triangle and see. I'm just stomping them like you would do it right here on a board, on, off, on, off. So the mono triangle's on. We're still in scene 1 of this factory preset chorus collection. Go ahead. So there's a couple of different chorus types in here. There's a tape chorus, and this one has the compressor and some delay on, so we'll check that one out. So again, I just designed some of these blocks to just give us the ability to check a few things out. This is a tape flanger, which really you're thinking about this Roland Space Echo chorus flanger kind of a thing. So. Use that for a print sound if I needed to. So there are a few more in there, but I want you guys to understand that when I design these, that's why there's this slash in them. So you know you can get two different kinds of choruses. The idea is for you to check out a bunch of the chorus types in the VP4 and find the one that you like the best. Then you can come down here. Let's say you really liked that tape chorus we did that was right here. When that one is on and this one is off, right here. If you look over here and you touch that, it says tape chorus, you can save this into your library and call it my favorite tape chorus. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, then in any other preset, if you put in a chorus block and you hit this library thing, then it'll come up. And I'll do that real quick just so you guys can see this. So I'll call it, you know, my tape chorus, exclamation point. Now I'm just going to save that current channel. So if you've got a modifier in it tied to it, you have to save the whole block. Okay? Otherwise, if you save it, the modifier doesn't save with it. So I've done that, and now you can see it's down here. So if I came over here and I wanted to change this to that particular effect, I just come here and there'll be a whole list of what I've saved. So that block library is really useful.
I have to say, I really like how you've laid this out so the presets are more of an exploratory thing. Because what's challenging when you're just coming into this is you go, I have all these effects. Where do I begin? How do I know? And I actually did this when looking for sounds. You start off like just going through each of them, okay. But then when I went into the presets, I was able to kind of sample this one, like, nah, it's not quite right. Like, oh, that's kind of close. Like, oh, that's the one. Yeah. And actually now I know where to save it. So when I want to revisit that and use it again, I go, oh, save it right there. I actually really like that.
Well, that's cool. I appreciate that. The algorithms come up a certain way, right? They stock up. But I tweak a lot of stuff. And that's just because I've been on this thing for 14 years. And so I wanted to do things that I liked to hear. And so I tried to build those into some of the factory presets. So they aren't just a simple, oh, we just pulled up a regular ladies chorus and it sounds like blank. I may have done something else to it. So that's the chorus one.